Drum roll, just 1 week to go. An electoral map continues to tighten as the nominees scramble to make their last stand. Now all eyes are turning to these key battleground states. Real Clear Politics shows Donald Trump ahead in Ohio, 46.8 to Clinton's 44.3. Gary Johnson bringing up the rear, just over 3%. And Jill Stein drifting to where she was about last time, less than 1 percentage point. Joining me now to discuss, Fox News Decision Desk Director Arnon Mishkin, along with Carl Higbie is back with me. Arnon, this is an exciting race. I mean, I guess they're all exciting for a guy like you, right?
They are all exciting. They're not always get so close towards the end.
All right, but they are getting close.
Yes.
I looked at recently I saw an article in the last couple of days of the last 10 polls in 2012, and it was Mitt +1, Obama +1, Mitt +4. I mean, it was a complete mixing. It feels like this is what we're going to be looking at next Tuesday.
I suspect that's what we're going to be looking at. The difference between now and 2012 is in 2012 was a traditional Republican versus a traditional Democrat. This is a very non-traditional Republican against a somewhat traditional Democrat. And it makes the map much wider in terms of states that you'd think were easy to call, but turn out not to be so easy to call, things like Texas, Utah. And it makes the map much wider, and it makes it much harder to sort of tell how the undecideds are going to swing.
Right now, Fox News, you guys have it at 287
yes.
for Hillary Clinton, 174 for Donald Trump. But there's some beautiful prizes out there, right? Florida, which is obviously tilting to Donald Trump. Ohio, which I think Donald Trump should have in the bag, no?
Ohio, we're listing it as a toss-up state. Iowa, we're listing as a toss-up state. Both Ohio and Iowa, partially because of the level of diversity in those states, I think are very good for Trump. I think he's done a very good job of sort of campaigning there. And more important, there's some signs that the Clinton people are sort of pulling out. Or not devoting as much energy there, because their internal polling must be showing them that they have better fish to fry elsewhere.
Well, on that note, the day the Hillary camp said they're going to apply $600,000, or 6 figures rather, to some states that people had already checked off for her, New Mexico being one of them, Michigan, I think. Is that a sign that maybe their own internal polling is showing that there's some slippage? Because polls that came out today showed her still in the lead there, but down dramatically in a short period of time.
I think that at this stage, particularly if she does have a funding advantage, she should be devoting attention to those states that are sort of in her bag, but not quite.
Carl, you're close to the Trump campaign. He's got to win some of these blue states. He's going to be in Wisconsin tomorrow. Paul Ryan is not going to help him out there. We get that Marquette poll out, I think, at 12:30. Everyone's like champing at the bit for that.
Yep.
Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. These are those blue-collar states yep. that people think or have felt for a long time have those undiscovered voters, those voters who don't respond to polls. Is that still a feeling there?
I think so, and I think what we all saw this coming out when Donald Trump stood up there and told the Ford Motor executives, if you put your cars or your plants in Mexico, I'm going to hit you with a 30% tax or 35% tax on the way back in. Everybody saw that, and nobody stood up to these guys before, and I think the people there, the blue-collar people that have historically voted blue dog Democrat their entire life, are like, wow, you know what, I have been beaten down by the system. And this poll right here, these electoral votes, you are not taking into effect what I call the Trump effect, which is the unknown, which nobody can see and nobody saw coming, and it's going to happen again.
I think that may be, but I mean, frankly, spending time in Wisconsin, spending time in Michigan, I would suggest share the ganja. I mean, because quite frankly, those states are the best states for Hillary Clinton in that range. Donald Trump has proven that he does have some advantages in that Rust Belt, Upper Midwest, Ohio and Pennsylvania, but spending time in Wisconsin and Michigan, to me,
Arnon,
should be counted
where
as
should he be focused? I mean, I would think he would be certainly focused in North Carolina.
Absolutely. North Carolina, Ohio, Florida, but I would say that his best opportunities to steal blue states from Hillary Clinton, or states that we think are leaning blue, are Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, and North Carolina. 20 electoral votes in Pennsylvania. If he takes those Pennsylvania votes from Hillary Clinton, he wins the presidency.
Melania's given a speech in suburbia, Philadelphia suburbs, obviously trying to get some of these suburban housewives. A poll out in Pennsylvania today has Hillary up 11. Is that one of these bogus polls in your mind? Or?
The thing about that poll...
I know pollsters don't like to say other polls are bogus.
I wouldn't call it bogus, but polling over the Halloween weekend is very risky.
All right.
And she has the Democrat 12 points in the Senate. That's not going to happen.
All right, guys, we got to go. Thank you both very much.